Live, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all. I welcome you all for yet another session by Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Connecting with Stakeholders. Let me introduce myself. I am Sharmila Soman, former principal, AKG Public School, Chennai. Having been in the educational field for nearly 3 decades, it gives me immense pleasure to interview a dynamic personality who has been enlightening us with sessions on various aspects of education during the pandemic. Well, it may be no coincidence that my guest's first name is that of the most widely revered and most popular of all Indian divinities, Professor Krishnankuti, popularly known as Methil Krish, Chairman, Career Competency Development, AVVP. Swagatam, Suswagatam, sir.
Thank you so much.
No doubt the last 6 months have been very challenging for everyone in the field of education with COVID, online classes, remote learning, NEP, etc., and the list goes on. As the saying goes, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. We've had Professor Methil Krish as a guiding light from AVVP with his spectacular, or may I say enlightening sessions. Just to give all our viewers a brief introduction about him. A postgraduate in economics from Loyola College, Chennai, an executive MBA from Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, a proficient trainer in life skills for engineering and MBA students, a certified international trainer by Max Singapore, specialized in international teaching methodologies. He is the most sought after person for motivational speeches at CBSE schools in Kerala. He has conducted over 500 workshops in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka for both students and parents. Well, I'm sure all of you are eagerly waiting to see and hear the man himself. So, without much ado, it's my honor and pleasure to meet, of course, virtually and to talk to this eminent personality, Methil Krish, on connecting with stakeholders. Once again, I welcome you all for a rendezvous with Methil Krish. Sir, to name a few events that you've had since the lockdown: Coffee with Krish, Every Parent Must Know, Amrita Listens, Big Talk, and more. The list is endless. Now, for a person who has interviewed over 15 dignitaries with experience and exposure in their own fields of expertise on topics like future of global economy, excellence in leadership education, etc., in the big talk, how does it feel to be on the other side of the chair for the first time? That is to be interviewed rather than interviewing. So with you.
I would like to ask the same question back to you, ma'am. You get an opportunity to sit as a student in the classroom and your student takes a class.
Yes.
So how do you feel getting back as a student? So it's easy to ask questions, right? But difficult to answer. I do understand. And whenever I orient teachers, I always tell the teachers, how much of hardships our children go through when they sit in their classes. So when the teachers come and experience themselves as students, they realize how difficult it is to be a student. So in a similar way, it is very easy to ask many questions. I'm not saying that I'm sure you have prepared a lot of questions to be asked. I'm not taking the credit out of you or trying to mock at you, but it's indeed very easy to frame questions and quite difficult to answer, especially from such eminent moderator who's going to ask me tough questions and where sometimes I may not find answers for your questions and I may try to escape from your questions. So this is all generally the student does. So I'm also now learning how to escape from those tough questions from you. So this is what I feel. Easy to ask. It's like easy to preach and difficult easy to preach and difficult to practice. Easy to preach, difficult to practice.
But I guess it should be. I guess it should be both ways. It should be very interactive. Both the teacher and the taught needs to be equally competent and equally, be on the same plane in order to make a session lively. So.
Most of the cases, ma'am, I have found that the students, generally, the interaction in the classrooms maybe about 30 to 35%, not more than that. And maybe even as a student, I generally don't ask questions to my teachers. I always say to my students when I orient them, don't question the teacher, but you can ask questions. But even when I was a student, When I was a student, I never used to ask questions to my teachers. You know why? It's not
Tell
why.
me.
The
Yes,
moment
tell
you
me.
ask the moment you ask one question to teacher, the teacher will ask me three questions back. So,
Okay.
it's better to keep your mouth shut. It's like Malayalam parayum, vadi koduthu adi vaangana. Don't give a stick
Okay.
and get a beating from. So I used to keep my mouth shut. So, but we'll make it more interactive. There's nothing that it's very informal discussions that we are going to have. And thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on our show and making me sit on the other side of the table and answering your questions.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Well, all of us are familiar with Coffee with Karan. But now the most sought after session is Coffee with Krish, a session that is totally focused on technical jargons, clarifying various aspects of engineering, technical clarifications on artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity and programming, and deep learning. What made you think of doing a session that is so appropriate and beneficial to the students, sir?
It is very easy to pick up an engineering seat today. It's very easy for a child to get a seat in engineering. But the
Mhm.
difficult task for them is to choose what stream of education in engineering they must choose. Whether should they go for a chemical, aerospace, aeronautical, or civil, or mechanical, computer science, artificial intelligence. It's very difficult to choose for what stream should I pick up. So under these circumstances, ma'am, I felt that I should bring in those head of the departments from different schools of engineering. We have four schools of engineering. One Amrita School of Engineering, Chennai, Amrita School of Engineering, Coimbatore, Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri in Kollam in Kerala State, and Amrita School of Engineering, Bangalore. And next year we would open our fifth campus at Amravati in Andhra Pradesh. And we have close to 3,000 seats for engineering. Now
All
that
right.
we have almost closed. So now, we have quite a few. We have got close to about 65 to 70,000 students who apply for these 3,000 seats, and we put them on to, chat. And many of them ask, "What should I do? What should I do to get a seat in computer science? What should I get a seat? What is artificial intelligence? What type of jobs will I get after I do my mechanical engineering?" So under these circumstances, it is not that easy for me to answer to all those queries from about 60, 65,000 aspirants of, being an engineer in the future. So I felt that let me bring in those HODs and then have a chat with them on a live streaming, and educate them at this is what it is and this is what the future of a particular stream is, and the questions get calmed down. So idea was to expose those streams as to how one should pick up those streams by knowing what the streams are. Most of our children, they pick up, like, for example, they all get into engineering. Somebody is running for computer science, so everybody wants to join computer science. Somebody,
Absolutely.
the next year, everybody is running for civil, so all of them will run towards civil without knowing what exactly is civil engineering, without knowing what is the content of what civil engineering is all about, what is the future of civil engineering, what is the industry in construction taking in the future, without knowing all this, because it's like, the herd of, you would have seen those, what do you call those, when the sheep goes, the herd of sheep,
The
the
other
one
sheep
fellow goes in
follow.
the front,
Yeah,
the other fellows follow. So this is what is
follow.
happening. So we want to just
Absolutely.
break that chain. And this year it
Okay.
has been more into computer science, and we thought let's break it. So who else can I bring? So I thought I just copied it from Coffee with Karan. I put it as Coffee with Krish. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. Karan, for copying it from him without his
No,
permission.
no, undoubtedly. It's equally at par. It's
Yeah, yeah.
equally at
So
par
that is the
or
reason.
even
Yeah,
better,
yeah, yeah.
even
That's
better
that's.
than coffee with,
Thank you.
yeah. Right. Thank you. Uh, a unique launch of Amrita to help the educators and school management to share the ideas of their institutions or the best practices, let me put it that way. The program titled Let Us Hear My School, which was officially inaugurated by Mr. Srinivasan, ROCBSC, Chennai, along with Dr. Vasanthi Tyagarajan, Senior Principal and Correspondent, Shishya School. The 17 sessions conducted by eminent and experienced principals was definitely an eye-opener to many other leaders and teachers. Could you give us more details about this program? How was the idea? How did the idea strike you?
Madam, knowledge has to be shared. It's like,
Absolutely.
you're smiling at me. When you smile at me, I smile at somebody else, and the smile is contagious. It goes on to thousands and 10,000s and 1 lakh people. So each school has their own ways of handling this COVID situation, because nobody really knew what is this COVID-19. You may recall March 24th was the lockdown declared, and I'm a guy used to travel 25 days in a month and remain at home for 5 days. And I know I landed in Coimbatore airport on the 21st, visiting Chennai for a MOU with one of the schools, Bala Vidya Mandir at Adyar. And after signing that, and I just got out of the Coimbatore airport, somebody came with that temperature check and said, "Sir, can I check your temperature?" "Yes, please. Have you been abroad?" So I didn't know what is all this, like I heard, okay, something is happening in Wuhan, in China, and this, that, and suddenly declaring for 2 weeks, and suddenly 2 weeks to 2 months to 6 months, and we don't know where we are going to land up, ma'am. So this is what has happened. And okay, but April, May was more or less a holiday. And when things turned out to be bad, even in the month of June, there are so many strategies, so many initiatives taken by different schools. Now, each school, how do they come to know about it? You have a school, you'll do it differently. Somebody else has a school, do it differently. So I wanted each of the head of the institutions, the principals, to come over and share their initiatives in the school, which would have taken them towards the success of handling classes, success of handling parents.
True. I know. So that the best practices.
Let us create a platform. Yeah, let's create a platform where all the principals and teachers can sit and watch. So that is where the knowledge has to be shared, and this information has to flow like wildfire. So that is where Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham came in handy, and as you rightly said, it was inaugurated by Mr. Srinivas, who is regional, along with Dr. Vasanthi ma'am. As well, we had also
Mrs. Manila was also there, I think. She was chairperson Bangalore Sahodia.
Absolutely. She is the chairperson, quite an active, she is the principal of DPS, Delhi Public School, east of Bangalore.
Yeah.
And she was also there. So both of them, along with RO, Mr. Srinivasan, inaugurated. And it was a learning it was a mutual learning between the school and the particular principal who used to come on that particular show. Let's hear my school. The name was given by me, man. So
very good. In fact,
let's hear my
school. I'll be coming to ask you about that as well.
No, I'm not taking a credit. So somebody asked me, what should we? Let's hear my school. That's how it happened. We don't have a totally overthinking and then coming out with a caption and all those things. Over to you. Oh, sorry, I'm not the moderator. I'm saying over to you, ma'am. See, by mistake, the habits seldom die, they say, right? So I'm saying over to you.
Old habits.
Old habits. Yeah.
Old habits seldom die. I just happened to notice that you have, got a bandage around your right arm or right hand. When you just lifted up your arm, I thought you were more into education and things like that. You were doing a quiet job. We are all glued to our TVs or what have you, to the mobiles. How come, if I may ask?
Yeah, absolutely. You can ask me any questions that you want.
Okay.
And this is like you're seeing one part of my side where I'm just quiet sitting over the screen, looking at the camera and talking. But the other side is, ma'am, as it broke. It broke in terms of lockdown. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking the entire country, entire world for lockdown. So that's what I said. As we broke down towards the silence, I felt, let me do something for myself. The 2 months was quite hectic. So I instead of sitting idly and just doing nothing, I said, okay, I was close to about 90 kilos, 91 kilos in the month of March, right?
Oh.
Yeah, March. Okay. And I said, look, there's nothing to do, and let me do something. And I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I keep sending wishes to a lot of people, and then by 4:30 I'm off. I go for an hour walk and half an hour jogging. And I did something to do with IF, intermittent fasting, and brought it down to 73.5 kilos in 2.5 months' time. So I reduced by 17 kilos. So if you think it's an achievement in 2 months, you say, oh, wonderful, you can say.
Definitely. And I think this is something which probably teachers could also take.
Yeah. So you can. And if you feel like, for example, what are the benefits I got? One is like, I look trim, but some people don't like me trim. They said you must be bubbly. There are some people who have seen me as bubbly guys.
Okay.
And here is a photo. See, some of the photos. Look at this.
Okay.
So this is what I was in 2020, and here is where I am, in 2020. So I want public to realize that. I used to go, lockdown or no lockdown, I used to go in the morning, total silent, lot of fear in mind. But still, if you have a will to achieve in your life, you can. And two things which happened, I used to use this Astalin, ma'am. that
Yeah.
Ascalin, that
Yes, yes.
inhaler.
Yes,
That used to
yes.
be a
The puff.
regular use. Without that, yeah, without that in my pocket, I can't move out. And
Okay.
let me tell you, and I spend close to about 140 every 4 days. I used to use it regularly.
Mhm.
But in the last 4 months, I've not bought even one. I've
Oh.
not bought even one because of that. That's number one. I used to have a little bit of sugar on the higher side. And let me also tell you, I brought reverse my diabetes. So I have,
Oh.
there's no sugar complaint. So two good things happened in the last 3, 4 months, which I always feel it's again a determination to achieve something in life. So I want my viewers to realize that, look, when you start looking at things with a sort of a negativity in your mind that you can't reduce weight, you can reduce weight. And
Okay.
today I don't even if I don't even otherwise I don't take my lunch. I have a breakfast, then go for my dinner, and that's my routine. So
Well, that part of it, I
and,
don't
and
think
and
it's
look at
just
this. Look at this.
yes.
This
Okay.
yeah. Coming to the point, and even with all this, I used to have being sometimes a little cranky. You go a little cranky. I used
Mm-hmm.
to go for reverse walk, right? Reverse walk is still okay, but I do about little bit of reverse running also.
Oh
So
my
suddenly,
dear.
yeah, suddenly it was on a terrace, like there is a small little 2 feet pillar, a small pillar, which I know, which I've been seeing for years.
All
And I
right.
went straight, and then sometimes your mind becomes totally away from, when you walk backwards or run backwards. I
Mm-hmm.
went straight, came backwards, and I hit the pillar. Moment I hit the pillar, I kept my hand on the right hand, this side to block me, and this portion, slight fracture. So that's
All right.
all. It's a miniature one, nothing great. I enjoy. I even drove my car today to buy something outside. So I drive my car even with this hand, right?
Okay.
Except my bike. Bike, I cannot bring it like this. So except that car, I drive on with one hand. So
All
nothing
right.
to worry. I think all your prayers will make me fit again in the
Sure,
next
sure.
7 days time. Yes, ma'am.
All my prayers and
Yeah,
viewers, I
absolutely.
think
Thank you so much.
we can take the message which Methil Krish has shared with us that let's look at the positive side of life. Let's be more focused on what we can do. And that just as he has told us a simple remedy of how he has lost weight, but I really quite
But
don't
but don't
agree
break
by
hands.
missing.
But don't break
Yes,
your hands.
don't break hands. Yes, two things which I don't agree with is don't break hands, don't
Yeah,
walk
yeah, that's
reverse
true.
because that's not the
Correct,
right
correct.
thing
Don't
to do.
walk reverse. Yeah,
Have a family and the family will get more annoyed than
absolutely,
than
absolutely.
us that's one. And second thing is about how we can definitely do something creative if we have a positive mind. Yes. So moving on, as I went through your profile, I found that you were you're working with some top multinational companies. I'm really curious to know what made you shift to an educational background. I think you
Yes.
were with marketing or sales, if I'm not wrong. So, how come a shift to
See,
education?
I've been into sales and marketing for almost close to about 3 decades. I started my career with Procter and Gamble, then moved on to Taj Government Hotel in Chennai. I worked there for some time, and then I took a serious job with Avery India Limited, selling weighing machines across Tamil Nadu. Then went on to join paint company Jensen and Nicholson, and then off to MRF Tires for almost about a decade, and then a few months stint with JK Tires. And finally, it was with TVS tires in the year 2000 to 2009 or so. So I left. I retired when I was around 48, 49 years, when people are at the top, at the peak, pinnacle of their career. So I rose to the level of. I started as a salesman, and when I left TVS, I was a marketing head, the vice president of the company, as for the sales and marketing is concerned. And that was a good journey in my life. And I've traveled to all the states of this country. If you say there are 28 states, myself had been to all the states. That
Mm-hmm.
was mainly because, the tires. I was more into tires. So anywhere you go across the country, you will find some vehicles, whether it's a whether it's a moped or a Audi car or a truck or a tractor or whatever you look at. So wherever you go, so wherever the vehicles run, I go. That's it. So I was covering the all India market for TVS tires and TVS rubber. So that
Mm-hmm.
was it. And suddenly, what happened? My headquarters was in Madurai, and there is a management school which is called Thagaraja School of Management. There is also Thagaraja Engineering College in Madurai,
Mm-hmm.
quite a famous one.
Yeah.
And Thagaraja School of Management, which came in 1961-62. One day when I was in the office in the year 2002, 2003 or something like that, I'm not very sure about the date. a few of the children came and said, "Sir, we have a program, we have a management contest or some sort of function, and we would like to request you to sponsor our show." So how much is your sponsorship? And that boy, one of the boys said, "Look, sir, it will cost you close to about your investment would be around 6,000 rupees. We'll put a
Oh,
banner, TVS tires, and whatnot." So I said, "Okay, 6,000 rupees." Then I just picked up my intercom and asked my accountant to make a check in the name of Tiger School of Management and issue a check for six. So when I ordered for the check, all these guys were looking at me. I said, "Why are you looking at me? Am I so handsome?" Of course, I was handsome also those times. I'm not denying that.
yeah.
And he said, "Look, no, sir, I've been going around to all those other companies, and wherever we went, they said, we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you. But here is somebody who said to get a check." And we were
Mhm.
really wonderstruck. Are you really getting us a check? By the time the check came, it was signed by the accountant, and then I issued the check to them. And I told them one thing. This is what a sales and marketing guy always takes a decision. He will never get back and all those things. Possible, yes. If not, I'm sorry. So, and they took the check, and suddenly I got a call from them again, and there was no. And they said, "Can you come over as a guest of honor or something like that?" I said, "What do you
All
want me
right.
to talk?" So he said, "Why don't you talk? Why don't you talk about your experience in sales and marketing?" I said, "Okay, ठीक है." And I I went there, and there were teams across the country, from different schools of management, and I
Mhm.
spoke to them about my career in sales and marketing. What is sales? What is marketing? How do you launch a product? So that was the first time when I took a sort of a class for about 200, 300 students in management. And
Mhm.
I also heard about those management students talking on the microphone. And I felt there is a lot of room for improvement in speaking. Not that I was good in speaking, but I felt these people are going to hold responsibilities as managers in future in different, whether it is in finance, whether it is in marketing, whether it is in quality or any department, HR or whatever it is. But I really found them that they were far below standards of my expected level for a guy of this nature who is going for 2 years of management course. And finally they come out, they would become a misfit to any of those corporates. So this is what I felt. So I said, okay, it's easy to say, but as I rightly said, easy to preach, but difficult to practice. So let me see that what I could offer from my side.
Mhm.
So in fact, after that, I came back and I was just thinking, what should I do? How do I go about? Should I take on to teaching profession or what? I mean, what do I do? I mean, it was a huge risk for me to shift from a top position to this position. I know I would beat up my emoluments by about 50 to 60%. So I just kept quiet. Then there was a call from Bangalore, one school of management. There was a call from Trivandrum. There was a call from Delhi. There was a call from
Oh
Jaipur.
my.
They all
Uh-huh.
wanted me to come and talk. They just
Okay.
all wanted me to come and talk on my experiences. I said, "Oh, so I'm in becoming a celebrity. So bada saab." I said, "Okay, fine." And they also said, "We'll pay for your flight fare." I said, "Nothing, nothing. That's all. You don't worry." Okay, fine. So I went and started conducting classes, and that was
Uh-huh.
in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. And 2008, 2009, I felt, look, how do I get out of this usual uh, sales, collections, markets research, market penetration, growing in market share. So all those, I said, okay, there's an end to all this. I said, okay, let me shift to help our students to develop themselves in sales and marketing. And that's what I said, who is going to take me? I don't have an experience in teaching. But then some other, when you look at something which is impossible, but when you start searching and searching and searching, there's somebody to say, hey, I am here for you. And that's
Mhm.
why Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham came in handy and said, come on, now we want people with experience in
Mhm.
sales and marketing who has really done sales and marketing, because you can't teach sales without really doing a sale for
Experience.
yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really,
Being
really
into
selling.
that.
You can't read books and start selling. Come on, that's
It's
all.
true.
That's all humbug, and that's what is
Yeah.
happening today. And that's
Yeah.
where I shifted from a highly paid job to a job here. So, but I enjoy. I mean, that was in the year 2009, and for the last 11 years, though I had about 2, 3 years of gap cut off in between, but I
Uh-huh.
certainly that's how the shift had come, man.
All
Yes,
right. So I think the adage I'm reminded of, experience, they say, shape you, and life molds you as you move along. And that's exactly what's happened to you. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Now, raising a child is an art. and one of the toughest jobs in the universe. No one is perfect. Keeping this in mind is important when we set our expectations. Enlightening parents regarding how to set an example for their children, how to handle them on a daily basis is very tough during COVID-19. The weekly YouTube live programs of yours in Every Parent Must Know has been helpful to the parents in not only strengthening their bonds with their children, but more importantly, how to understand them as well. I understand that that was the first session that you started off with when the lockdown began. My question to you is, how did you choose your topics for the session? Because everything is equally important. And what are the critical things that parents must know? Even now, I'm sure parents need to know a lot because they have a very high expectation of their children. So nothing wrong, but would like to hear from you.
Yeah, it was the month of June in the first week when I felt that it's time for me to get out of the house and go to the campus. And we have our Swamiji, Brahmachari Maheshwar Chaitanya, who is heading the admissions for all the Amrita School of Engineering. So we had sat together and said as to how we could connect ourselves with the society, with the stakeholders, and let's not be sitting silent and wait for things to happen. And that is where we hit our heads together to have a combined a combination of both our brains. And then first thing what we felt that let's get connected to the parents, because the parent would be the person who would certainly be, so depressed about their children being at home for a couple of months, and the future is so bleak, right, uncertain and unpredictable. So we both felt that let's take something on to the parents first. And I used to conduct this parents meeting. I have something very special for the parents, which I call electronic parenting, e-parenting.
Okay.
And I have done quite a few such meets across the country.
All right.
Been quite a successful parenting guy.
I'm sure. Because I've attended some of your sessions. Yes.
Yeah. So, so I felt, look, when I could meet, let's say, 400, 500, and even there's a school here, Avila Convent, that's about, I had addressed about 4,000 parents. It's a huge school. And the type of response that I received was totally encouraging, and I was feeling very contented about the couple of hours that I spent with the parents. And it's a learning mutually. The parents ask questions and I answered them. I asked questions, so they answered. And since I've been doing this, I felt, let me do it now. We don't know where the parents are sitting, at least. It was for a particular school. Now let me spread it out to the parents of those children who had applied for us for Amrita School of Engineering or Amrita School of Arts and Science. So whichever course they had applied, let me write to them that this is what I'm going to conduct. And it was quite fabulous. We had close to about 6,000, 7,000 parents listening at a particular point of time. And it was on different topics. And today, it is not the same. Like your parents were different, and you as a parent is different. Your daughter as a parent would be different. So I cannot just keep on talking about those ways where my father used to, my parents used to, yell at me, beat at me. So these cannot be practiced today. So I developed certain point, like how do you manage an angry child? Right.
Yes.
Like for example, how do you handle an angry child? I don't remember the topics which I handled.
I'll tell you. It's
mother's
please. Love.
Mother's love. That's again one more. I make my little children, the parents really cry, because if you look at today's contest, the parental connections, that's with the child, the daughter, son, and the parent. It's getting the gap is getting widened. And today, the children, for their own comfort, I'm not blaming anybody for that. Send their parents to so-called old age homes, and they feel by just giving them monthly stipend or monthly financial support, the parents would be happy. So I take that sitch, the parents' love. That's one of those hitty topic of mine where I had made many of my children cry. And when I do it on a stage, I really make them cry. I also cry, and by end of the session, you can see every child, 99% of the children who are sitting and watching me, you can see drops of tears. And that's a feel I need to create, that a feel in the mind that the children must know that parenting is not an easy job. Because
Absolutely.
parenting has no retirement. Absolutely, it's a lifelong commitment and a responsibility, which not the parent must know, but even children must know that, even if I'm 90, my daughter could be, let's say, 60 or 65. But still, for me, I look at her as
Kid.
born just recently, carrying her little baby on my hand. So I think that is the hit of my, that's my hit bullseye. I mean, it has been doing a wonderful sessions across. So many other sessions I've conducted. I'm sorry, I don't remember those topics. I
You
also talk
talked
on career
about the
planning.
brain, the left
Yeah,
brain
yeah.
and the
I
right
don't know
brain.
how far it is true, but I do a lot of, left side brain and the right side brain. It's called whole brain exercises, where the parents must know that, because if you look at CBSE or ICSE or IB, whichever syllabus you talk about, it's only the left side which works, which is more into arithmetic, analysis. All those happens on the left side. A, B, C, D, all those studies happens on the left side. But the right side is more into creativity,
Creativity.
holism, identification of colors. So if you have to write a poem, you need to have the right side brain work. But since your CBSE is only up to the left side of the brain, most of the children don't use the right side. So how do you, through some exercises, for example, I hope this is okay, victory, okay, victory, okay, victory, okay, victory. Now
I've,
this can happen only if both sides of your brain is working. You want to try this? You want to try
no,
this?
no, I've done it. I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah, yeah,
In fact, I'm
yeah,
not very good at it, but
yeah. I know.
I
Yeah.
think
So
okay
you have
and
to. Yeah, yeah. No,
victory,
no, no, no,
okay,
no, 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 no.
fine,
I'm
okay,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
okay,
sorry.
okay.
Okay,
Is it
okay,
okay?
victory.
Okay, victory. Okay, victory.
No,
Okay,
no, no,
victory.
no.
No, I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, you
I
have
will.
to. Yeah, yeah, you
It'll be
have to.
quick.
See,
You
this
have
is
to be quick.
so there are
Yeah.
so many I have about Gara or Bara, 12 such things which
Okay.
I promote on that. I also tell them the importance of both the brains to be used. So that is also yet another topics which I enjoy doing it for the children.
Yeah. So not only children, I think teachers, principals, you try this okay victory, and I'm sure even now it's not
I
too
don't
late.
make the teacher or the principal in front of the children, but they'll say brainless teacher. So I don't I don't want to expose our teachers. I will never do that. But then the teacher sitting in the rear will start doing it. I said, ma'am, please don't do it. And let our children not know that. So have fun. Anyway, that's it.
Okay. Yes. Now, quoting Stephen Covey, most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Quite contrary to this is the program Amrita Listens, a platform where students have their doubts clarified, questions regarding various campuses, programs offered, hostel facilities, fee structure, students exchange program, placement details, etc. were answered. How did you draw upon the idea to conduct such a session, sir?
Children, I'm sure if you look at the children, they're about 16, 17, or 15, 16 years and choosing sort of a professional course and looking beyond the professional course. Uh, and lot of doubts come in their mind. It's like maybe yours is a love marriage or a arranged marriage.
You're asking me? Mine is
Naturally.
arranged.
Uh,
Mine is arranged.
See, even if after the arrangement, both of you have met and I mean, spoke to each other, and still, till the marriage, you have a lot of doubts which pops up in your mind.
Yeah.
It happened to me. It happened to you also. So till the marriage, even after the marriage also, not that even now sometimes you have a lot of
We do.
doubts.
We
So,
do have more and more.
yeah, more doubts today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it happens. So I felt like it's instead of they asking us question, it's better that we listen to them and then keep shooting out with those answers. And especially on those fee structures, especially on each campus, what are the streams available? Right? Do you have chemical here? Do you have aerospace there?
Mhm.
Secondly, how is the hostel? How many children stay in one room? And is it attached? Is it air conditioned? What type of food do you give? Do you give non-veg? If non-veg, do you give mutton? Or how often do you give mutton? So humpty number of questions keep popping up. And Coffee with Krish was more of a technology oriented one. This is
Okay.
more into common questions, which most of the parents also would like to know. How large is the campus? What are the culturals? How is the sports and games being conducted in your campuses? What's the difference between campus from Coimbatore to Chennai to Bangalore to Amritsar? Plenty of questions. So I felt, look, I asked them to send me questions first, right? And then come out with those questions and answer them virtually. And that's what it meant. It has done once or twice, if I'm right. And that really opened out, and a lot of clarification was brought in. I feel it was a good show as far as the admissions are concerned, because unless you clear all those doubts, people don't join.
Children will not be.
Absolutely. So that's what Amrita listens.
Right. Thank you. Well, now that we've just, you taught me on this okay and victory, and you seem to be better at it than me. One little doubt crept my mind. Do you sing, or is it your passion for music that inspired you to host the Amrita Ganamrita?
It's not because I sing, but nobody listens. That's a problem.
Oh, okay. So it's the same.
If you're willing to hear my songs, I don't mind singing, but not now. Yes, it was actually Swamiji who, whenever I used to come for those leading those programs of ours, we found that the teachers, it is something total transformation from the usual classroom management to the virtual classroom management. It's totally different, and you don't even know whether the children are listening to you, whether they are there. No idea at all. But then the teacher keeps on teaching, because that's their profession, and have been doing a wonderful job. I know teachers who wouldn't touch laptops are now owning laptops and teaching me what laptop is all about, because I have quite a good network of my teachers. Said, hey, Krish, I can teach you what is what, Okay, very good. So, in a span of just about a month or two, the teachers have taken the guard, and they've taken the guard very, very well. But we felt that, as you don't get sleep, you have a problem of your eyes getting, those blackish. And so we found the teachers having not the blackish one, but the face was not that pleasant and pleasing because of the cumbersome type of work. A teacher working from a home is totally different. 90% of them are madams, and you only have 10-15% of men as teachers, and they have their families, maybe newborns, they have in-laws, their parents, their children. So 3 hours or 4 hours a day. Absolutely, it's total stress. I don't mind taking a class for de-stressing them. And the only way I felt was I can take stress management. These are all nothing common thing across, So I felt instead of doing that, let's make. And one more thing, ma'am, which I thought, there were so many schools, they were not in a position to pay the teachers who are into arts, music, PT, physical training. And I know quite a few of them, sir. At the moment, we don't have earning at all. Others get 50% of the salary. So I have teachers who have come to me and said, we want to get out of this. I said, okay. Then we felt that the only way to get out of this is to make them come live. And we had brought teachers with music or music teachers of different schools, even from Kuwait, taking part in.
All right. Okay.
I have not studied music or singing, but it started off. I think we would have done about 12 such events every Saturday or Sunday, and every time we used to have 10-12 singers. They register with us, and we bring them live. It was really a good show in the sense we used to enjoy the 2 hours of our live shows, and we had 2 judges who would judge them and pick up 3 or 4 best teachers. 2 from music, 2 from non-music.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You've encouraged the non-music.
Absolutely. And I had, once they won, I've sent them gifts to their residences. I've sent them a lot of giveaways. It's a token of our love and affection for their participation into those Ganamritam, virtual Amrita virtual musical eve. And today we have finally reached the finale of our Gidamritam, and that would happen on the 7th of November. And you heard the song, no? Oh Pod, Oh Pod, Oh Pod.
Oh yes.
We have Ramani Bardwaj, who is a music director, who will be the chief judge and the chief guest who would come and judge the final 3 plus 3. 3 from music background, 3 without music background. And all this 3+3, we'll pick them up, and I have a show which I will open out in the fag end. Will come there for receiving the awards. So it is went up very well. It is just to take their mind off those tensions and sort of stress, and make them do something differently. When you do something differently, you get charged. And I
That's
felt
true.
more than about 200 teachers would have come for the show, and
Oh,
we
that's
have,
fantastic.
yeah, 200 total teachers would have come for the show, and we have finally 7 plus 7, 14 of them taking
14.
part for the finals. And you are also
Fantastic.
invited to be a part of our show that is
Thank
taking
you
place
so
on the
much.
7th of November.
Thank you so much. I too am a bathroom croner like you, but
Yeah,
I do hum a tune sometime. Well, that's fantastic. And definitely, music gives life to everything. That's really
absolutely.
nice. Yeah. You were just mentioning about the time when you came to Chennai, and that's where when you were checked, and you had come to Balavidya Mandir School. I think that was in connection with Amrita Margdarshi Outreach Live. I think probably it's for that, in connection with that session.
Uh,
Where
uh,
is that this thing? Is that to do with that, where Balavidya Mandir and another Kuwait school was they've enrolled themselves?
No, no, not for that actually. We signed MOU with, we have been signing MOU with a few schools. And what we
Mm-hmm.
do is we take care of a lot of, like for example, we do training and orientation for teachers on those new topics like artificial intelligence. We have something to do with machine learning, deep learning, IoTs, blockchain, cybersecurity. So, we have enough of those trained faculties in our university. So why not we help those teachers? So through MOUs, we bring in students from those schools and make them visit our campus and I mean, they are our guests for almost a week. We take them around and show them the facilities that we have, and what is School of Communication, what is School of Medicine, what is School of Arts and Science, what is School of Engineering. So we give them a sort of holistic view of different schools that we have. In fact, we have
Mm-hmm.
all schools except for School of Law. So if you look at
All
Amrita,
right.
we have Amrita School of Engineering, Amrita School of Arts and Science, Amrita School of Business, Amrita School of Biotechnology, Amrita School of Ayurveda, Amrita School of Education, Amrita School of Dentistry. So name anything we have except for law. So we need to orient them. And then
Mm-hmm.
we also teach them as to how to choose a career. See, we have students from 9, 10th, 11, 8th, 9th, and 10th who would do a career planning. And 11th and 12th, it's more of career execution, right? Whatever planning they've
Mm-hmm.
done, they have to, because they've already taken a stream, whether arts, commerce, or science. So we do a career execution for them. So we have expertise, and I take care of that particular. That's called career competency development. So that is what
Mm-hmm.
is the MOU what we sign, and we are willing to take on MOUs with any schools, any number of
All right.
schools would come forward. That's number one. But
Mm-hmm.
Margadashi is I would say, which we had done it last year. I've done it in
Mm-hmm.
Kota, I've done it in Jaipur. That is more of into, again, it's something to do with the career. We give them a direction, Margadarshi. We give them a sight
Mm-hmm.
of direction
I
as
know.
to how a child should move forward after the 10th by choosing which stream, and after 12th, choosing which stream. But in these two cases, Kuwait and and BBM, they
Mm-hmm.
wanted us to address students on the new technologies that have come up, because we talk about
Okay.
artificial intelligence, right? What is this
Mm-hmm.
artificial intelligence? What is robot automation? How the future
Mm-hmm.
is going to look like? So Kuwait wanted a session that was done by Brahmachari Maheshwara Chaitanya ji. And for BVM, we have a set of excellent faculties in Amrita School of Engineering, right? And
Mm-hmm.
these are the times we have not started our live streaming for engineers, and all of the faculties were coming forward and saying anything that we could serve for the betterment of our children with their willing. So we have set of excellent faculties, which I did mention to you in Amrita School of Engineering, Chennai. So
Absolutely.
it is
Yeah.
just about a couple of years now. This is the second year which we are put into action. And they have
Mm-hmm.
taken this responsibility of, uh, I would say, orienting or training, whatever you call, or taking classes, almost about 16 Sunday classes for about an hour
Oh,
on
all
various
right.
topics on science. And
Mm-hmm.
each different faculties come. So It was again inaugurated by the BBM principal, Mr. Srinivasa Varadhan. His name is that, I think it's
No,
Srinivasa.
Raghavan.
Srinivasa Raghavan, and then by again Brahmachari. Then we had quite a few number of faculties at Amrita School of Engineering who came forward. And this Sunday, coming Sunday is the last class what we are conducting for them. So we have a valedictory function, and that is Margadarshi. So we always, as Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, is always here to show directions to our children. It is not that we are waiting for them to join Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Most welcome. But what really happens to us is that I'm sure Madam would have read about our Chancellor Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. She's a worldly known spiritual leader, always believing and always being supporting in education. And we have also close to 70 schools across the country, Amrita Vidyalaya. Now that is for the schools, and this is Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. And wherever it is required that a child, because Amma says, like she's popularly known as Amma, she says it's education for living and education for life. And wherever a single child wants a help, please go ahead. Please go ahead. And I think it's more or less the support of our Chancellor Amma that we are able to move forward, rendering this service to the society, in fact, for the educational society for that matter. So that is why this Margadarshi had come. And it is a worldwide, not worldwide, at least in the Indian context, it has been, in fact, I wanted to do it across Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. I tried it in northern part of it, like, Rajasthan. We did it in Jaipur, we did it in Jodhpur, we did it in Udaipur, we did it in Kota. So all these places we had it in Davangere. It was a marvelous. We had about 3,000 students sitting in audio. I'm sorry, I should have put those pictures for you. I didn't realize they're going to ask me this question. So otherwise I put those anyway. It was a great. It was a great success. But unfortunately, nothing like meeting our students, meeting our little children, and doing it. I on the stage and showing them what is what. They're asking us questions. They do ask questions on a chat box, but that is not that encouraging. There were some 20 questions coming at one particular point of time. But let's see once things ease off. Again, we wanted to do one in Chennai. We planned it up. We paid even advance. In T Nagar, there is a Nellai's one auditorium is there where a lot of music concerts take place. We paid them the full amount, but they returned it. So we had a lot of plans, ma'am. But unfortunately, as the God says, we propose and God disposes. So that is what happened to us. Yeah, things will ease off, and so we cannot be physically present. At least now we are present virtually, and thanks to Amma's encouragement for this. I mean, I give the full credit to our Chancellor, Amma. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks for the yeoman service that you are doing, and my humble pranams to Amma as well for taking it all over the country. Moving on to the flagship program, Amrita O-Labs Orientation for Education, and that, of course, almost everyone is aware about that, which has impacted about 10,000 plus educators. I can see a beaming smile when I'm talking about the O-Labs. Yes, where you have experiments in physics, chemistry, bio, as well as math and English. My God, and this program definitely would have a lot of planning, detailing and monitoring. So what were the hurdles when you started working on it?
Oh, wow.
I don't have to tell about the program because the program everybody knows.
Ma'am, this is not OLAB is nothing new at all. OLAB was introduced in the year 2012 by Amrita Create. Amrita Create, when I say it's Create, is Center for Research in Analytics, Technology and Education. This was actually Amrita Create, which created OLABs as early as 2012, and this was done by the founder, chairman of Amrita Create, Prema Nedungadi, Dr. Prema Nedungadi. She continues to be the chairman for that Amrita Create, as well as the chairperson for computer science engineering at Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri. So this was earlier. It was actually launched by Ravi Shankar ji, I mean our Minister of IT. And MEITY, M-E-I-T-Y, Ministry of Information, Electronics and Information Technology, along with CDAC, Development of Advanced Computing, Bombay, with Amrita started off this as earlier. And this was, in fact, those times in 2000, 12, we had set of people coming from CBSE, right? Mr. Vineet Joshi was the chairman then, and he had sent people to find out what is the real outcome of these experiments in physics, chemistry, and mathematics to begin with. And they had come and tested all those, and it was been tested and certified by CBSE. And a circular went from CBSE in the year 2012 for all the schools of CBSE to make use of this OLAPs. Nobody bothered. Nobody bothered. We also just went and knocked each of the doors of each of the CBSE schools, but really nobody bothered. Very few schools bothered. I said, what the hell are you talking? OLAP, online experiment in practicals. Come on. And it went off. We had a letter shot by the CBSE again in 2016. Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangha then from the commissioner Delhi office sent a circular. Again, this Jawahar Navodaya Samiti, like every district other than Tamil Nadu has Jawahar Navodaya schools from 6th standard, 12th standard. They also send a circular. To be very honest, nobody bothered. What is Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham? You said the hurdles. See, when you are not interested, we can only give you. It's all done free of cost. We don't. Today I can charge easily about 25,000 rupees for a show of mine on OLAPs. We can, because today that is the need of the hour. We came to you 10 years back. You didn't even look at us, but today you want us. I will charge you 25,000. 1 lakh, please pay. We didn't do that. It was actually, to be very honest, this was started off by Manila ma'am, right? Manila ma'am from DPS. She called me up and said, Krish, what is this OLAP? I said, OLAP is OLAP. Can you do it for our Sahodaya? I said, okay, fine. Then I contacted Dr. Prema, and she, in fact, she said, I will do only one. Rest of it, you take care. I said, okay. She said, look, she's of course busy with her work. And I said, okay, fine. And I said, okay, let me watch what you do. And I learned from her what she did. And then I went on to do. I think, as you rightly said, we had now 25 to 30,000 registrations in a span of 3 weeks. And the last week we had all the regions, 8 regions of Jawahar Navodaya. We had 8 regions in 4 days, morning at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock to 1, evening 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We did it. I was there, morning talking for one hour, afternoon talking for 1 hour. Why did we do all this? Because today you talk about, we have more than 136 experiments in maths, physics, chemistry. You can teach experiments, through online. It is something which is beyond anybody's imagination. But Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham brought it 10 years back, ma'am. And it is not just for COVID-19 that we brought it. People think it is, we can't even make a medicine. We don't even have, some vaccine for COVID-19 so far. You think Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham would be able to get your OLABs within about 2 months? No. But this can be even used at a later stage. And it has been a great success. Now I am stopping it for some time. I have got a lot of waitlisted set of schools which they want. I said, you wait now, because because my job is not only to do this, right? Because I have another colleague of mine sitting in Cochin and doing this, practical. Okay. So, ma'am, what was a luxury about 8 or 10 years back has become a necessity today. And I don't feel proud to say that it's all the blessings of, again, I say all the blessings of our Chancellor, because she always looks ahead. And what is not required for today, what is required for today should have been thought about 5 years back. And that's the greatness of our Chancellor, Amma, the spiritual leader. And she thinks ahead 5 years. She can, I don't know, predict something that this has to come in handy. And let's work towards it. And today, my teachers want OLABs in computer science. Now we have only 9 to 12. Now teachers of 6 to 8 standard are now calling me up and say, Krish, why don't you do it for 6 to 8? Come on, we will do it. And we have, in fact, now have a team, a development team at Amritapuri, who is working on the requirements of this OLAP in the future. It has been a wonderful, and today, can you imagine that you can do you're a teacher of which English teacher, or you're in biology?
Yes.
You are English. Even English
yes,
practicals.
You have it for English.
Yeah, English also you can show them.
We have ASL.
Absolutely.
We've got the speaking and listening skills. So
Absolutely.
that's
So this
fantastic.
is,
In fact,
yeah. Tell me, man. Sorry, I keep
like
talking.
me, no, just like me, there must be many others who just thought that this is just an initiative started during the COVID times. And I'm so glad I asked you this question, and we have here you are. Thanks to Amma for being such a visionary, and I thank Mrs. Prema as well as Manila ma'am. Manila ma'am is a part of this
She built the
program
cat.
too today.
She was
Yeah,
a
she's
person to
here
build the
today.
cat.
I
Yeah.
have sent her a personal invite, so I'm sure. Thank you, Manila ma'am, for your initiative. Well, and thanks to Methil Krish for having
No, no.
conducted the session today.
Rendezvous Krish is only just, I mean, it is nothing much.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
you know,
definitely, it's been a blessing to all the students and teaching fraternity. Well,
thank you so much.
moving
Thank you so
on,
much.
yes, another initiative of yours is the Thursday Talkies. I've heard about Bombay Talkies. I'm a little curious to know about this Thursday Talkies. Anyway, it's definitely a catchy tagline. You've come up with such catchy taglines. I'm sure you must have framed
No,
this as well.
it is more into rhyming. Thursday talk is we wanted every day something to happen, and Thursday was a blank day. So we
Okay.
felt, okay, let's bring in something else. And it is something to do with, again, education. So instead of having, they may not be the principals of an institution, they could be educationalists. Like, let's hear my talk is all for the head of the institution. So there were teachers who wanting to come out and talk something in public through this virtual platform. So we thought, okay, let's invite teachers. Let's have teachers who have retired, teachers who are teaching currently, educationalists. So we picked a few of them and then had this show done on a Thursday, right?
All
So
right.
it went for some time. After that Thursday, we had OLABs coming up, so we had to cut it short. So the name came Bombay Talkies. I agree with you, but this name came because these were conducted on Thursday, and there was a gap that Thursday with no program. So,
Okay.
and the demand came from teachers and educationalists to be part of this Amrita Vishwa
Yes.
Vidyapeetham virtual platform. So that is how this name came, Thursday Talkies.
Thank you. All right, moving on to something which is very, very important for the teachers. They've always been the source of inspiration and knowledge. You Are the Light is one such program where AVVP has recognized, appreciated, and felicitated both the national and CBSE best teachers. What, according to you, has been the impact of the program on the viewers? I mean, I just want your opinion because I know how it's impacted the teachers and the others because I was there when you had done it for all the CBSE and national best teacher awardees. It was
No,
nice to listen to the experience, but
Huh. I wanted to actually. It is not just recognizing those teachers on the who are awarded the CBSE Best Teacher Award this year, as well as the National Best Teacher Award from CBSE. I think Mrs. Jyoti Arora from Delhi. So
yes, yes,
we had also her being recognized for that matter.
mm,
Teaching is a noble profession, and each of us, whatever we are today, is because of a teacher. And I always keep saying this, that the three noble professions, if you look at today, as far as I'm concerned, maybe right or wrong, is a farmer, a soldier, and a teacher. And even if
absolutely.
it's a farmer became a farmer because of a teacher, a soldier became a soldier because of a teacher,
Teacher,
a teacher became a teacher because of a teacher. So
teacher.
I would rate teacher to be on the top of the graph which I mentioned. And Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham always believes that we need to regard, we need to compliment, we need to reward, we need to recognize wherever and whenever possible. And we have been doing that. And Brahmachari Maheshwara Chaitanya ji, it was his idea last year that when he saw some national awardees in Tamil Nadu, he said, "Hey, Krish, we need to recognize them because
Mhm.
they were all from the remote places in Tamil Nadu. We may not be able to do for the entire country because it's going to be 38, 40 organizing. So he said, why don't we do that? And I said, okay. Then I it was in Karur, it was in somewhere in Erode, one was in Pondicherry, and there was one from CBSE, Maladi ma'am, who's the vice principal of Padma Shri Chowdhury. She was the last year's recipient for the best
Yeah,
CBSE.
yeah, I know Malti. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took a car and went to them, and and said, this is what we want to do. And the happiness that went on to their faces when we said from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, we want to recognize you. We have kept a separate day for you at Amrita School of Engineering, Chennai, right? You're welcome there. And I think again there also it was Mr. Srinivasan who came in and rewarded them for their achieving the Best Teacher National Award. So it started off with Brahmachari Maheshwar Chaitanya's brain, and then I took off, and it happened last year. And we also had yet another. Okay, that we'll come back to that a little later. And we continue to do that, and we also have about last month on 26th of September. Today we are in October, right? It's 26th of September. We have aired something to do. We went on air nationally in Republic TV, right? Saluting my teacher. And I want you to see that video now, saluting my teacher. And that video would come back if I'm able to get that video on. So I really want you.
Let's watch the video.
Let's watch the video. Till the video comes, ma'am said. That's what I always mention. It is not just recognizing them. We need to have more teachers getting these awards, because there's no limit on getting the number of CBSE only so much. No. In fact, why we do so is to motivate the other teachers. See, when you motivate and inspire other teachers, they will do better. So I think here is a video.
Yeah, sound? Let's watch the video.
Teachers change the world, one child at a time. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, teachers everywhere are trying newer ways to deliver lessons and ensuring that learning never stops. To all the teachers going above and beyond for all of us, thank you.
Watch me along with special guest panelists as we discuss how teachers can succeed with the right tech and support system, even during a crisis, and explore the future of learning and education.
Amrita University presents A Salute to My Teacher, this weekend, only on Republic TV.
So we aired this last month, and all this we do, ma'am. It's only, because the teacher is a teacher is a teacher. I mean, I still remember my teachers who taught me in school. May not be that who taught me in the college, because the number of days you go to the college are less than the number of days you go to school. Because your undergraduate is only for 3 years, but school is from first standard to your 11th standard, and that's it. So that's it. So that's why. Okay. The response was indeed too good. The response was indeed too good, and the connections that we have with the teachers today, it is tremendous, and I feel totally delighted about the type of initiative and type of efforts that Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham has taken. Nothing that we need to do all this, but we need to do it, right? And that's why
I give you a 10 on 10 for this, because of the answer for the farmer, the soldier, and the teacher. Well, fantastic. Thank you. There was a session even on the NEP 2020, where personal opinions regarding the same are shared in the platform Experts Speak. I'm sure the NEP 2020 will rehabilitate young minds to open new avenues of their thinking and learning, as education is not a spasmodic process of communicating facts, but the development of an integrated personality through the sustained influence of a teacher. So if I were to ask you one thing that you liked about NEP 2020, what would it be?
I am sure, being a principal for years, and me watching children of LKG or the preparatory, you ask me one thing, that's what I'm going to answer you. I have seen the first day to school. It's not for the teacher to mention to me about first day. Just go back, and I want you to think about the day when you put both your daughters, maybe the eldest first, to that preparatory school, maybe close by, Padasala, all those. And the first day when you leave your little child, and you get back, the type of screamings and yellings. Oh my God, the parent used to turn back. The watchman used to say, Amma, you go, don't worry, we'll take care. And the type of, type of learning, the type of teaching and learning which goes for that small little children of just 3 years or 2.5 to 3.5 years. Oh my God, carrying so much of, heavy books. And my God, to that extent, I sometimes visit schools, and when I sit with the principal, she says, look, I'm quite busy today, Krish. I said, what, sir? Are you engaged? Yes, I'm engaged. The parents of my LKG students are coming to meet me with the report card. I used to wonder, oh my God, for LKG report card. I mean, I was thinking, what the hell is happening to the system of education for a child where they must be left free? It's a baby, yeah, 3 years, and totally allow them to do what they want. And that's where the Montessori plays a very prominent role. Why are you creating such a sort of examinations and asking them to learn? And the parents who are sitting outside the principal's room, when I walked out, I could see them. Oh my God, very serious.
They were tense, probably.
My tense, the firing is going to be on the parents, not on the little child. But my question to you, ma'am, is why do we put these little babies into these type of, my God, why? In today's new context, at least I am very happy a child goes totally free mind. The child will enjoy going to school. You need not push your child if there's nothing to learn, in the sense, nothing to learn out of compulsion, right? You learn what you want to learn. Secondly, there are no exams for you up to your third standard or something like that. No exams. So no fear of failure or no fear of success. And mostly the parents would be now smiling because at home. I think this is one of the best of the reforms that educational NEP 2020, as far as I'm concerned. Let us allow our children to do what they want to do, because the mind, the brain gets, actually concreted up to their 8th or 7th or 8th years of their age. And if you try to push them and pull them and coax them and cajole them to do things they don't like, their brains could go haywire. So this is one of the best reforms that I've ever seen in NEP 20. There are many other things, but since you asked me,
I know. Yes.
And now I don't mind to be reborn. I don't mind to be reborn and go to a school in LKG, the preparatory level. Otherwise, I'll say, hey, God, don't give me rebirth, okay? If you give me rebirth, I have to go back to those preparatory schools. I'm free. I'll come back again, ma'am, and join your school.
Oh, sure. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much.
And, I quite agree with you, and that ECC has really come in as, a boon to many of the parents as well as the teachers and entire teaching community. I'm sure we all agree that the NAP has a lot of things in store for us.
Absolutely.
Well, the essence of a program is communication. To be effective, one needs to appeal to the mind of others, and to be empowering, one needs to reach the heart of others. You have been both effective and empowering, and your quick sense of humor has won many hearts. So one last but one question would naturally be, what is the secret of your success? Over to you.
For me, I wouldn't say I've seen or tasted success. I mean, I would, because, success takes you to the finality of your efforts. So I wouldn't say I would say I'm contented with Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Is when I say it is Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is contented by good news. Can I tell you one good news?
No, I think I'm going to. I think I will
okay.
tell you that.
I don't. Some good news, which is better you say. It's more of a contentment, and success. It's sometimes what happens in most of our cases. Success gets into our head, to our mind. Okay. And in my opinion, and success generally, when you ask me what success is all about, you can see the success of an individual. Like, for example, I would say my role model, if you ask me who it is Dr. Abdul Kalam. Not when he was alive, right? When he was alive, he was not my role model. But he became my role model after his passing away. And why did he become a role model? Is for the simple reason that after his death, it is not just the students in India It's not just the citizens of our country who cried and wept for her death. It was the entire globe. It was the entire universe which cried for her death. And that is what success is. So if you say success, it all depends how many people cry after Methil Krish, which I couldn't see.
God forbid.
You cry better, you cry. One of you is you. If many number of people feel my absence, that is my success. And I would say that it is not during your life you will taste success. It is only after you leave and people feel for your absence. Oh, Methil Krish is not there to take on this virtual platform anymore. Is the time that Methil Krish will start taking success. So it's okay. I'm not satisfied, ma'am, but I'm certainly contented about the things that has been happening through us, through the office of the chairman of admissions at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Yes,
okay, so maybe you have something else in mind. So, but why I posted that question to you is I understand that you have touched 100 sessions in just 4 months, and that is amazing. 100 sessions in 4 months is just, it's not very easy. So that's the reason why I put that question to you. But then now, since you said that you are content, where do you think you need to reach? Of course, you said that success can be termed only after somebody passes away. God forbid. I really don't wish that to happen.
Yes.
But tell me, where do you think? What is the next that you have roped in for the teachers? Where do they go next?
See, for a cricketer, century. After that, what happens, ma'am? Double century, right? If you ask the legend, Mr. Sachin Tendulkar, you hit century. He wants to go for the second century. I hope it happens to us. But as you rightly said, I don't know, did I talk to you about my hitting 100? We had Big Talk 15. We had Let's Hear My School 17. We had 22 OLabs, Margadarshi 2, Amrita Listens 2, Coffee with Krish 7, Parenting 10, Ganamridam 12, You Are the Light 2, Expert Speaks 4, and Krish, I used to do a separate program for those teachers. That was 3, Disha 4, which makes it to 100. You are perfect. You are certainly hit the nail on the coffin. Now, this is not the end of the tunnel. This is actually the beginning of our journey. And next couple of months, I may be silent on screen, but I'll be active with my foots onto the schools. Maybe in November, I take care of myself. I take care of the principals whom I'm going to meet. If there are any principals, I will come and meet you in person. Please allow me to meet you. I'll keep a social distance. I'll calm myself, Okay, so don't worry. And the next thing is, the target for me is to complete what I call as Amrita Excellence Award. That is Amrita Academic Excellence Award, AAEA. And we had conducted this one Amrita Academics Excellent Award 2020 on 29th of February at Amrita School of Engineering for the 4 districts of Chennai, Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur. So I want you to watch this teaser first, and then I go ahead with my conclusions.
All right. So we'll have the teaser now?
Yeah, we'll have the teaser.
Yeah.
And we could award 3 principals.
The future generation is in the hands of teachers.
When our children who are now well settled in their world of work come back and tell us that this is what the school has needed, that is the moment for the teacher.
The teachers are the exceptional guides and mentors who play a prominent role in the lives of their students.
Such love we got from all the children. We used to appreciate children. Definitely they will come out with a lot of good things.
The day when I was awarded also, the serene atmosphere, the entire campus, everything stole my heart.
I was excited and thrilled to receive this prestigious award.
The way knowledge you share, the love you shower has immense power. The teachers, you're really, really awesome. So, ma'am, this is what is going to come up. This is what is going to come up for 2021. And for Tamil Nadu, it is separate because we announced about Tamil Nadu on 29th of February. Right, 29th of February announced at Amrita School of Engineering. This is for Tamil Nadu. What we have done is Tamil Nadu plus Pondicherry, we have divided them to 6 zones. And from each zone, we'll be picking up 2 matriculation teachers, 2 CBSE teachers, 1 principal CBSE, 1 principal from matriculation. And we'll have a show, we'll have a distribution ceremony for the each zone, Madurai, Trichy, Coimbatore, Salem, Chennai, and Pondicherry. The dates have been fixed. We have sent mailers, we have sent invitations to the teachers. The response has been encouraging. Now, out of this 39 districts, which is divided into 6 zones, we'll be picking up 4 teachers. 39 into 4 is 156. So we'll have 78 teachers from CBSE, 78 teachers from matriculation. Out of the 78 teachers, we'll bring in 6 plus 6 teachers, 6 in CBSE, 6 in matriculation. So 12 teachers will come up to the state level. Out of those 6 plus 6, we'll pick up 3 best teachers and 3 best teachers, 6 teachers, CBSE and matriculation. Similarly, out of those 78 principals, we'll bring in 6 best principals from CBSE, 6 best principals from matriculation, and out of those 12 for the state level, we'll bring them as 3 best principals and 3 best principals. And on the 9th of January, we'll all meet, and you're also specially invited to be there since you are from Chennai. And we would have that show from morning, maybe end it up after lunch. So this is what it is. So that is on the Tamil Nadu. But on a central, on a all India level, I have distributed invitations for receiving applications, and we would select close to about 30, 40 teachers all India because it's a huge country. Based on the number of applications, we would fill them, and we'll also bring them to Chennai on the 9th of January. So please, you can get back to, if there are viewers here, you can get back to, what is the email ID, ma'am, for you, for this? AAEA at cb.amrita.edu. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
AAEA at cb.amrita.edu. Or you can also speak to ma'am. What's your number? 944. Ma'am, what's your number?
93450-76625. Okay,
that's fine. So that is all, ma'am, and this is what we are doing, and this is going to be a national level AAEA, and let's hope things happen well, and we pray God by January things should move well, and we continue doing that, and as you said, I want to hit double century. I have that.
Good.
I have that.
Wishing you. Yes, wishing you all the very best for your double century, and to all the viewers, the principals and the teachers, wishing you all good luck for getting yourself nominated. Well, nomination itself is a kind of recognition by itself, and well, if you win it, nothing like winning. Wish you all the very best. Mark your calendars. It's January 9th. 2021, so something that you can look forward to, and sure that your work will not go unnoticed. So well, as we draw close to this event, my humble pranams to Mata Amritanandamayi, the Chancellor of the University, Amma as she is fondly called, for being the guiding force behind the timely and thoughtful broadcast of webinars, which has been catering to the needs of different categories of parents, students, teachers, rather the entire teaching community. 100 events, 100 topics, 50 plus speakers that have impacted 25,000 educators. I wish to congratulate the brains behind the events. Swami Maheshwara Chaitanya, Chairman Admissions, and Professor Methil Krish, Chairman Career Competency Development, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Hats off to you, sir, and wishing you all the best for your second century. Both of you have been instrumental in taking the iconic brand forward, and ever since you have started, you have not left any stone unturned because of your progressive approach. Words, they say, are magical. I hope Today's session has been instrumental in healing, inspiring, encouraging, and empowering. Thank you, Methil Krish, for your valuable presence, time, and great takeaways, and indeed, magical words. It is said that all four components of communication are equally important. What to say, how to say it, when to say it, and most importantly, when to stop. I also wish to thank the organizers for having given me the opportunity. Thank you once again. It's Sharmila Soman signing off. Wishing you all a happy Dashera once again. So thank you so much, sir. It's indeed been an honor and a pleasure. So thank you. Thank you, Janani ma'am. You've also been a wonderful person connecting to the videos whenever we wanted it and also giving in your number. Thank you so much.
That was really wonderful. The last sentence that you stuck was when to stop. So that was a that was an eye opener for me. But and as thanks a lot. It was a fact. Let's stop it here. And I want to just make a special mention to Sophia ma'am, right? And she comes for every program of ours and. I wanted to specially thank her for her presence and Gurumurthy also. Both of them are there always. Sophia ma'am, heartfelt thanks, sir, for all the webinars so far. May God continue to guide you and bless all your endeavors. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your presence has certainly inspired and motivated us to do things far better than what we are doing now. Be there again when we come back again. And thank you so much, ma'am. A lovely evening that we had on a puja day. And thank you and for your family. And wish you all success for you and your family for the future. God bless. Take care. Stay safe. Stay secure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good day.
Goodbye.